Hey, Mr. Will Wong, this is Nikki P. Wow. This was a tough year for humanity, a tough year for myself personally, but an amazing year for cinema. These are my top 5 films of 2024, starting with number 5, Challengers. What a trio of incredible performances, a rivalry that just bounced around and reverberated throughout my body, and an ending that I'm still thinking about. Number 4, Drive Away Dolls. Don't sleep on Drive Away Dolls. Just because it is such a wacky madcap adventure doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve a spot on these end-of-year lists. This is Ethan Coen's first solo directorial movie, and now I can go back and look at Coen Brothers movies, and I have a pretty strong sense of what Joel is doing and what Ethan is doing. Number 3, Baby Girl. Oh my goodness, this is what cinema is all about. These two characters have something going on that, again, transcends language. 2 of the best performances of the year. Nicole Kidman, why does she need to live in this state of abject humiliation? Because she's an artist, and I really, really responded to Baby Girl. I think this movie is just going to keep giving the more I watch it. Number 2, Civil War. I didn't know you could do this. This is like a really in-depth look at a very believable but completely fake war. I think as time goes on, it just gets more and more piercing and relevant, unfortunately. Number 1, Wicked. I didn't think I'd be saying this. I thought maybe it was just a straight comedy, but this is just a really powerful, deep, transcendent idea about reclaiming an icon of evil. It's really what I wanted Star Wars to be for most of my life. Just a brilliant story about a decaying society and a possible savior who is shunned by the world that needs her the most. I hope that part 2 is at least 3 hours long. We really need it to fill in some gaps. If this is all we get in terms of truly great movies, part 1 can totally stand alone. Co-sign and stand by the decision to break this up into 2 movies. Great call, John Chu. Happy New Year, happy holidays. Thanks for listening.
Hey guys, earlier in 2024 I turned 30 years old, so this year I decided to pick my top 5 movies based off of characters and themes that I resonated with, now entering my 3rd decade. My number 1 film of the year is The Substance by Coralie Farge. I think it's an incredible movie. It's beautifully directed, beautifully written, beautifully acted. The body horror is bang on, and if those last 20 minutes don't shock you, I really don't know what would. My number 2 is My Old Ass by Megan Park. I love Megan Park and I love this movie. I thought it was a hilarious and endearing exploration of what it would be like to meet our older selves and all the questions we'd have. My number 3 is Challengers by Luca Guadagnino. I had the most fun watching this movie in cinemas. I think Tashi Duncan is the number 1 character of 2024. Zendaya did an incredible job, and I can't wait to rewatch this movie over and over and over again. Number 4 is Strange Darling by J.T. Molnar. This movie does an incredible job of toying with the audience's preconceived notions and judgments of societal norms and characters in order to deliver one of the most shocking and thrilling films of the year. And if you haven't seen it yet, you're really missing out on one of the greatest films. And finally, we've arrived at number 5, which is A Different Man by Aaron Schimberg. I saw this movie back in January and it's stuck with me ever since. Sebastian Stan is incredible in it, and I loved that it told a story about loving yourself for who you are as you come, instead of constantly comparing yourself to other people and wanting to be somebody else. That's my top 5 for 2024. Can't wait to see you all in 2025. Happy New Year, guys.
Hey everyone, hope you had a great 2024 so far. It's been a fantastic year of cinema. There's been so many great movies, and I don't know why everyone's like, no, 2024 wasn't great. It was fantastic. Sure, there might have been some better years, but there's so many great movies that came out this year. So without further ado, here's my top 5 of the year in no particular order with 1 extra bonus. The Substance, Nosferatu, Wicked, A Real Pain, Strange Darling, and Conclave. Now before we wrap this up, and I wish you a happy new year, I saw some movies that haven't come out yet with distribution coming up in 2025, and these are the 3 movies I think you should look out for coming out next year. First is Life of Chuck, Second is The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. And third is Friendship. Happy New Year, everyone.
I'm Dave Baldwin, and I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season and you had an incredible 2024. My top 5 of the year, starting with number 5, Brady Corbet's The Brutalist. Number 4, Adam Elliott's Memoir of a Snail. Number 3, George Miller's Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Number 2, Sean Baker's Anora. And number 1, Coralie Farge's The Substance. All incredible, impeccable pictures that I cannot wait to watch over and over again. And if I had to pick an extra one, I would pick Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2, which gave us this wonderful thing. And how can you say no to that? All the best in 2025. Take care.
Hey guys, Mr. Will here. We're counting down my top 5 films of 2024. A common thread among some of my favorite films of 2024 is that they feature very unlikely heroes, people who are misunderstood. Wicked unfortunately didn't make my top 5, but gets an honorable mention here. Also, Love Lies Bleeding. It's a look at people who are misunderstood. We delve a bit deeper into their story and the choices that they make. Okay, we're starting with number 5, Ali Abbas's The Apprentice. This Toronto-filmed portrait of a younger Donald Trump, played by a phenomenal Sebastian Stan, lets you decide sort of how you feel and which side of the fence you're on. Just absolutely riveting filmmaking. Number 4 is a film that, on paper, would never have made my year-end best list, but it does. It's Coralie Farge's amazing The Substance. Wow, what a comeback this is for iconic Demi Moore. This is a gross as look at the price that women pay for their beauty. Now, my third favorite film I absolutely have not stopped thinking about since seeing it, and that would be Tim Fellbaum's September 5th. I love films that are obsessed with process, and this gives us exactly that, giving us the true story of how the ABC Sports broadcasting team quickly had to pivot into what would become groundbreaking news coverage, covering live acts of terrorism. My second favorite film, I actually wish they held off a bit longer in releasing, and that would be Luca Guadagnino's Challengers. I love this film so much. Despite having seen it early in the year, I still adore it just as much as I did when I first saw it in the spring. A trio of truly spicy performances from Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Feist. Sometimes the answers are right in front of you, and that would be my number 1 film of 2024, Anora. I am a huge fan of the way that Sean Baker tells a provocative story. He just seamlessly weaves his way through different genres. The film's part thriller, it's a hilarious comedy, but also has dramatic elements which really hit home. This is an intimate portrait of a sex worker, deeply humanizing her, and of course the film's brought to life by an amazing, mind-blowing breakthrough performance from Mikey Madison. I saw this film over 3 months ago, and I still think about it very much to this day, completely obsessed with it, and I hope to see it a third time, and I hope you guys give it a chance too. On behalf of the team, thank you guys so much for sticking around all these years, including 2024, and wishing you an epic 2025. Hope you guys stick around as we deliver you the goods.